Right. Now we're at the following week. It's been sat in the machine here for a week. I haven't touched it. 34.3. 34.30. So we want 1.3 on mil off it. So divide that by 2. 0.65 of a millimetre. Is everything as it was? Yeah, I don't think anything's changed. What we like, but well, that goes there, isn't it? Right, we'll just touch you off first. Which is there. We'll zero the cross slide. And what did I say? What? 0.65. Which is about there. So that should leave us 0.65 to come off when we get this bit done. What's going on here then? What's happened to the focus? Right, you just have to bear with me a second. Right, we'll try again, shall we? So we're going to take 0.65 of a mil off it and then have another measure. Bit more feed, I reckon. What are we on? Alright, LR4, 8th hour per rev this time. Still not fast enough. Let's try LS. What's that? LS8X. Typical, isn't it? You get down to LR2X. You get down to your last bit and it all goes to shit. No. Well, gonna have to settle at that, I think. We'll have to sacrifice the finish, which is a shame. So we'll let that run to the end, we'll take a measure. I want it to finish at 33 mil or, you know, as close as. Nothing real important on it. see what we get now, shall we? $33.87. $33.81. $33.87. That's a bit. Yeah, $33.82. $33.85. Right, so we'll go for 0.8, and then concentricity is the name of the game on this one. I'm not too worried if we've got a slight deviation either way. As long as it runs straight, that's the main thing. I was reading through the comments of the last video, and Derek, what a great idea you came up with about making the end of this so I can put on different size slitting saws. It will mean making 2 plugs, but that's not really an issue. So although I've only got inch slitting saws, I've only got 2, so we'll make a plug to match this for inch, and then if I get any 1 1/4 ones, all I've got to do is make another plug. That's a good idea, that, mate. Thank you very much. Can I get in there with a mic round the camera? $33.05 at that end. We got there 30. Oops, I can't really see that. A bit awkward with the camera in the way, to be honest. 33 dead there, and at this end where we had a bit of messing about, 33.07. So we've got 0.07 of a millimetre difference. I can manage with that, I think. So what do we do now then? Yeah, that's not too bad. I've got to turn this other end down to 20 mil, so I'll take it out and flip it round, and then bring you back when we get that bit done. Right, we'll put a different tool in now. I'll change the tip in it, and I've just adjusted it out a little bit so that I can definitely reach it without this part of the tool holder. Sorry, without that part of the tool holder hitting the centre. So we should be alright now. So we want to get this as close to 20 mil as we can. We're at 23.25 pretty much. So 325. 1.62. We'll touch it off. 1.6. Let's just check what feed we're running at. R8W. It's about 8 thou per rev. Will that be too much? Well, only one way to find out, I suppose, isn't there? Not the nicest of finishes, even though that's a new bit in it as well. $21.53. How brave am I feeling? Not that brave. Let's take a mill off it. I'm going to slow the feed down a little bit, I think. The finish has gone to shit again. Finish is bloody awful, in fact. I wonder if that tip's gone. Right, let's try again on the same setting without doing that. See if that tip had gone. Yeah, look at that, look. .68. Let's zero that dial. The 10.6. Get it as close to 20 as I can, just so it gives the collet a nice 20mm collet a nice fit on it. .23. That doesn't make sense, that doesn't. I'm going to take point 0.1 off it and see. See where we get to. 1.5. Hopefully this should do it. Just realised that's a different sort of tip to what I normally use. It's not a coated one. I wonder if that's maybe a bit of my problem. .300ths of a millimetre over. Well, I'm going to live with that because I'll maybe just polish a little bit of that and it'll take that last bit out. I'll take 10th thou off this face here. Oops. Right, that's that done. So, break some of them sharp edges off, I suppose. Would be a good idea, Al. Right, what we've got to do now is me saying we. What I think I'm going to do next is, I might just use the taper attachment actually, because it's a lot easier than winding this bloody top slide in and out. I'm just going to set in here, touch off on that middle, come out, or zero on that diameter, come out till I touch this, and just like put a lead on there. And then it just wants spinning round, and a hole drilling and tapping in the other end, and it wants a counter bore in it. I haven't yet made my mind up what size thread I'm going to use. I should imagine it'll be an M8 or an M10, something like that. So anyway, I'll have a look at this taper attachment, do that, and then you'll see where we get to. See how we get on here, shall we? Right, let's bring you in a little bit. Gonna zero my collar. It's 2mm. I'm not using the taper attachment trying to be clever. It's more like I'm just bloody lazy. And I've got one, so I might as well use it, haven't I? So 2mm at a time seems to work okay, about 80 thou. Off the diameter that is anyway. good thing about this taper attachment is it's relatively easy to set up. I haven't set a particular angle, well I have, but not on purpose. I've just wound it across the other way. All I have to do was undo 2 screws, adjust them up, put the clamp on the back and away you go. So seems fairly straightforward at that. Looks like I'm getting a bit of backlash there. I'll come right back to the end of the taper attachment. I think that may be enough because that's just going to leave me a little ridge there just for the collet to register up against. Well, I think that'll do. Yeah, there's a slight ridge there. That's the backlash on the taper attachment, that is. That must mean, I'll have to remember this for future reference, that I've got the taper attachment too close to the headstock. If that makes any sense. So I could have gone far enough back to take all the backlash out of it before I come in. Because it's gone a good 10 mil in before it's then continuous climb all the way out, but I'm not bothered about that. Gives it a bit of character. So, right, I think I'm just going to try and clean this up with a bit of emery. Just take that bit of an edge off there, maybe shave that one down a little bit, make it a bit smoother, and then we'll flip it round and we'll drill a hole in the other end. I'm going to have to grab it there next time, aren't I, with a 4-jaw and clock it in. And anyway, that's what we'll do, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Right, I think what I'm going to plump for is M10. I'm going to drill this hole 20 metres deep. 20 metres? Jesus Christ, that's a long hole. 20 millimetres deep. And I've found here a reamer, which is, you're going to love this, 13.8 millimetre. And I can hear you screaming saying, why are you using that? Because it's an odd size. Well, for some reason I ended up with a box of them, and I liked them because one of them, I think it was this one, had got 1967 stamped on it. That was the year I was born, so I thought there must be an omen here. So anyway, I had them. So, 20 mil deep, and then we'll put a little boring bar in, and then we'll bore a small hole to about 13.5 mil, something like that. And we'll maybe just go 5 mil in. I might go 25 mil deep, actually, thinking about it. So, anyway, let's see where we... let's get some gears sorted first. So that's my 0. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark roughly, bloody camera's holes in there, roughly 25mm on the drill there, just to give me some sort of indication of where we're getting to. Right, try again, shall we? It's 5. Should be 10. So give us 15. Give us 20. I'm counting the turns on the tailstock so I get a rough idea where I am. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, that's right, yeah. Right, I don't think there's much point in trying to bore that out just yet. Yes there is, Al, what you on about, you dickhead? We want to bore that out now, don't we? So we'll have to, we'll get set up for a little boring bow, I think. You'll have to forgive me boys, I forgot to turn on the bloody camera. But not to worry, I haven't missed much. All I've done is I've just bored that out to 13.6mm. So we're going to slow the lathe right down, because if you've watched me before with reamers, you'll be well aware I don't seem to have a lot of luck. So we'll run down about 30 revs a minute, just nice and steady. And bring that up to the front. It's just touching. I'm going to 0 the dial on the tailstock, come back out a full turn. Which should be starting to do a bit of something. Yeah, right, so. That's 5mm. It's 7.5. And that is 10. So blow the end of that out and have a quick look, shall we? Yeah, that looks alright. Right, we've now got to put that M10 tap in. M10 should I say. I'll get it just started with the lathe, and then once he starts we'll finish it off with a bit. Give it a chance, Al. Come on, what are you playing at? Right, let me go find a tap wrench. Right, see that. I'll have to find myself a decent tap wrench. Sorry to our American friends, but these snap-on ones and these Blue Point ones are just shit. They, it's always these bits seem to break. See, that one's going, there's a chip out of there. They're just not very good. That's all I'm going to say. It's tapping that quite nicely, actually. Quite nicely, because I sound like bloody double boost. I wonder if double boost chucks his oil can on the floor like I do. I wanted to do it with a metric tap, only because this is a metric lathe, so when I come to make the plug, it'll make life a little bit easier when because I'm on a single pointer. So we'll have a little bit of screw cutting on the job, won't we? God, I'm dropping everything all over the bloody place. Right, just want to run that in there again, just make sure that's bottomed right out. And it has. Right, that'll do. Okay, I think that'll about do, isn't it? In fact, I'm not going to wipe the oil off it because it'll be in the, will it be in the brush? Yeah, I've just got to clean that end up. So, I'll just show you here if I can get my CAD drawing up to the camera. Right, is it going to pick that up? So, M10, I'm going to make this counter bore on there as well, and then make an inch diameter recess there for the slitting disc to sit on. And what I'm going to do is, on the first one I made, I did drill two holes in there, ringed them for the use of the pin spanner. But for this one I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put two flats on it. I'm going to make this about 5mm thick, I'll put there, look. And on the corresponding bit back here, I'm going to put two flats on that as well. Most probably do that one to suit a 24mm spanner, like that. And if I've got another 24mm spanner, which I think I have, I'll do the plug to suit as well. So that'll about do us, I think, boys, for this one. So I'm just going to take that rag out of there. If I can find something to do it with, that looks a suitable candidate. So I was reading all your comments again about the on the last video, the microphone and stuff like that. Thank you very much, boys, I appreciate that. I'll let you into a little secret though, I have turned it up one notch this time, because when I was watching it back, I thought there was a few points in it where it was maybe a little bit too quiet, but I don't know. What I should have done really was I should have left well alone and then just literally ask you guys what you thought, because at the end of the day it's you guys that's listening to it. And there was another thing I was going to ask about the videos, the way I do them. Just a simple question for you all. There's lots of lads out there that I watch on YouTube, obviously, just the same as you guys do. And sometimes when I'm watching somebody and they're turning something, making something, no matter what it is, doesn't matter, they fast forward things really, really quick and then stop and then spend an hour waffling on about it. Well, I suppose it's alright, but me personally, I like to watch the machining as well as the talking and everything else, because you've got to understand what it is that someone's trying to do. And I'm just wondering, I mean, on the last video I left quite a lot of the turning in. I know I waffle on a bit like an old fanny sometimes, but you just had to put up with that. But what do you guys think? Are you happy with the way I do it, with the amount of machining I leave in? Sometimes if it's a long run, it can get a bit boring by the time I get to the end. Or do you prefer the way that guys fast forward them? Be interesting to know. Anyway, till next time, boys and girls. We'll see you later. Cheers.